A sensational first game there from Red Reserve. CLG looked a little bit rusty. And speaking of rusty, he had a couple of key moments for Red Reserve in that map. Do you think, though, Risk, that it will continue as we get ready to head to the second map of this second best of 3 tonight, which is going to be Cash?
Yeah, the problem is right now, in any like kind of other circumstance, I would say no, CLG going to take Cash. It's their map.
I feel like there's a but coming here.
Yeah, but it's been a long day. They've been sitting around, they've been practicing, they've been playing this game. It's already gone on for a while. It is the last game of the day. We're nearing 10 o'clock. They've probably been awake for at least 12 hours now. So at this point, stamina might become a factor. And if you also, confidence-wise, are pretty knackered after that first map, it could become a problem for them. If, let's say, they lose the pistol round, they lose the first buy round, they start doubting themselves, that's when things could really spiral out of control for CLG. So I hope for them that they win the pistol and start building some more confidence. Yeah,
and you know, I think confidence is a big thing about this. Of course, if you are CLG, which you are not, I am not, but if you are, you know, I can't imagine that you're going to be feeling too great about what just happened on Cobblestone. Obviously, they did get fairly destroyed. I mean, we saw a couple of rounds, but I think the main thing for me is that none of the wins from CLG looked that convincing. Even the rounds they got, you were kind of sat there like, no, should they have got that? Of course, it was a 16-10 victory in favor of Red Reserve if you are just joining us. And as we said, the next map going to be Cash. That is the map pick of CLG. One that they're actually very good at. And when you look over Red Reserve, they struggle on it a fair bit. It's not one of their better maps. So bearing that in mind, they have got a bit of a kind of innate advantage in that regard. Yeah, one thing is for certain, though. The winner of this goes to play in the semi-finals, right?
Yes, or the winner of this match.
Yeah, yeah. Potentially. The winner of the series, you mean, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, the winner of the series goes to play in the semi-finals. Things are only going to get harder. Yeah. I mean, in comparison, when you look at the teams that are already in the semi-finals.
Yeah, they're going to play heroic, so
yeah.
Or surely heroic, and that's going to be a hard match for either team, even though
that's what I was going to say.
Red Reserve are playing very well right now.
So it becomes a situation with out of the frying pan into the fire, as things can only get more difficult. But focusing on the game that is at hand, CLG kicking things off on the CT side, Red Reserve over on the T side. Pistol round going to be underway.
And shout out to all the viewers who've stuck with us throughout today. You guys are pretty awesome. There's been some high quality CS, and we're not about to end it off with something subpar. Surely this is going to be a great map, and potentially we're even going to see Mirage here. Early on, mid control coming out from Red Reserve. Going to go for that split A. Freddy and the boys just scouting out mid, just seeing if they can get an opening. If not, then they can always rotate and do the B split instead. And that looks like the plan right now. Through the vent.
They're going to go charge again. Ricky is on the site, joining him. Cutler, as they look to try and keep Red Reserve at bay. Frags initially going the way of CLG, but then the trades come in into the 3-on-3. The bomb is going to go down. And now F&S, Ethan and Kuster, all that remain for CLG, have to try and retake this site. Coming in on the flank is going to be Ethan. Working his way up from behind, sneaking on by. They haven't heard anything to suggest that he's here, but there is a man poised to try and deal with it, and that man is dead. He's going to get decapitated. Relaxer within the site tries to do all he can. He's going to find himself 1v2. Players closing in either side. He's going to get finished off by Ethan. The flank prevails, and that is going to be the round to go the way of CLG. I was expecting a little bit more from Makalele there. I led into it. I was about to do the big introduction. The man, you know, the man that is Makalele. He's, yeah, but no, just completely annihilated.
Yeah, that's the problem when you're holding an angle like that. You kind of gamble on him coming from one of the other ways, and if he comes and hits you at the side where you can't really spot him, it's very hard, especially with him coming in with the USP. The Deagle actually is very viable in a pistol round like that because the body shots are actually doing quite good damage because, well, of course, the Deagle does a good amount of damage. Headshot, of course, always kills it. Right now, Ethan, close range, of course, UMP 45s on all, and this is an interesting buy from Red Reserve. 2 AKs and a couple of pistols. We've seen this before, time and time again. It doesn't always work out. You really bank on one of your players getting a couple of kills to win you a bomb site, and then you get the bomb down, and then you get post-plant. But right now, they've been denied. Freddy's gone down. Rusty on low HP Relaxer with the AK on 43. I would preferably throw that over to Makalele, but he does have a Deagle, so you probably want to go ahead and challenge with that. And he's also in mid, so they can't even do that. He's pushed far away from his teammates. So tossing over the AK isn't even an option right now. Makalele hunting for the frag. Very aggressive stance from him.
And Finesse, curious about what mid might hold in store. Is ready to peek out, and once again, Red Reserve, they've changed their sights. They're going to look to try and break out in towards B once more. Ricky's aware of the danger now, has to fall on back, but he's playing it in pit. He's going to be trapped up close. At the full mercy of these rifles that Red Reserve do have. Gets caught rotating into the site, and that is the opportunity that Red Reserve needed. Now going to try and follow that up with a push. FNS keeps them at bay for just that little bit longer. Cutler still alive within the site, dancing around with the UMP, but it's Kusta to push on through and join him. The AK up on Relaxer. Makalele now salvaging an AK of his own. Relax's not done just yet. He's going to go ahead and take a third. There's still one man within the site, and that man is Cutler. Putting it into the 1v1. Bomb gets dropped in CT. Makalele takes the peak, though, and wins that engagement. Pulls it back, and that was when you needed the big introduction for Makalele. Does go ahead and clutch that out. 1v1. Red Reserve pick themselves up their first round.
That AK does come into the hands of Makalele eventually. It took some time, but it came in there, and he guaranteed a frag, and also a round coming in from Red Reserve. Still Relaxer playing a hell of an opener so far. I think he's on 5 frags, if I'm not mistaken, in only 2 rounds, while he lost one of those 2. And now CLG in a position where they have pistols. Kotter does have the UMP-45, 2 flashbangs and a smoke, while on the T side they have a bunch of utility, and they're probably going to go for an A execute and A split here. Surely with the amount of utility, use all 3 avenues, use the utility, and just overpower the CTs. That should be the plan.
Yeah, they're now going to be sending players into A main. For Red Reserve, though, they leave Hampus on the back line. Freddy, open things up. Relaxer now chiming in with one more out from Squeaky. 2 men down in towards the A-bomb. So they make that a 3, as Ricky's life expectancy is extremely short. Leaving us now on FNS and Cutler. Cutler just looking to hold into the UMP. He's already fallen on back. Into a safe position in CT spawn. Hampus pushes out through mid, knows where FNS is, catches him. We'll be able to eliminate him from this round, leaving this all on Cutler, who is 1v5, just aiming to stay alive. As I was going to try and keep rhyming, but gave up, not going to lie. It's been a long day. CLG, 4 go another round. Red Reserve in with a second. Nearly the team ace, but it will be denied.
But yeah, look at this. We're in a situation now, if Red Reserve keeps this up, where all the analyst desk, including the Magic predicted James, including myself, we're going to be wrong and you're going to be right. What kind of the world is that? I'm not sure I want to live in that world, to be honest.
The way that I do it is not only do I look at what James has predicted, because he is the oracle of Counter-Strike, I look at what you've predicted, and I just go the opposite.
Well, let's see how far that's going to take you.
I'm just going to hedge my bets and say very far.
Okay,
but Red Reserve, they're going to got themselves a second round here. CLG relying on Cutler with his salvaged UMP to carry them forward to the victory. He's inside the B-bomb site. Smokes off the potential play on it. Hampus going to get headshotted there on the jump out from fence. Now tries crossing into the side. Over on headshot. Took him a worrying amount of bullets to drop out Ricky, but he will go down. Now Cutler fighting for his life from CT. The pop flash comes in. Not going to be followed up with aggression. The bomb makes it across to the site, however, so it is going to be getting put down any second now. Ethan takes the peek on up from heaven. Just tapping away with the USP. This round going to be going the way of Red Reserve almost indefinitely. You can already see that they're starting to fall away. Don't want to risk going down to these SMGs unnecessarily. Keen to not overstay their welcome and relax. Just thinking about the aggression out to CT. That's going to be quickly denied, as he will be tagged low. Able to pick up 1 before he takes the damage, but this is just... Okay, through the wall. Relaxer's not done just yet. Oh, he's really not done just yet. You say he's out of action, but then he gets 3. One of them through a wall.
And Relaxer's #1 fan there. Just chilling out. And well around there from Relaxer there. Picking up 2 frags, or 3 frags actually. 2 normal ones, and then 1 through the wall. Very nice from him. With a UMP-45. AWP now coming out on Kusta. M-Force on all the CTs, lacking a bit of utility. FNS, only 1 flashbang. And lacking kits as well. Not looking too good. But Red Reserve still with the setup. 2 UMP-45s trying to make that bonus round happen and see if they can build an even stronger economy against the one of CLG, which is not looking too strong at the moment.
This round reserve going to be going for the tried and trusted execute in towards the B-bomb site. Everyone's stacked up here. Ricky, the first man to take a peek, goes in over his head and as a result loses it. Now within the site there's only one man left standing and that's Cutler, caught unaware. The UMP up close, too much to bear as strips away his face from the rest of his body, and that is going to be the 3v5. CLG already opting to save, completely locked out of this round. Red Reserve, not only do they get themselves the bonus round, but they go flawless in it.
And they also picked the M4, so now they have only one UMP-45, which could be upgraded into an AWP. So this is a pretty sick setup coming out of Red Reserve.
Well, I mean, there's actually an M4 still within the site. He could go and get that, but he's going to instead go hunting with the UMP and actually pans out. FNS goes down. Not going to trade out that gun just yet. Reason being is, loses a UMP, not the end of the world.
Doesn't matter at all.
The other reason being as well is if he falls and he's got the M4, he doesn't know what CLG have on the rest of these guys. He's expecting that maybe there could be a UMP still in the mix, so he doesn't want to hand them an M4 if he does go hunting. And they're just going to start enclosing on these players within A. They lose Makalele, but now they know where Ethan is.
And once again, like this switch around, I should say, they have one UMP and that's going to be switched no matter what, so they survive with 4 rifles. Going to surely buy an AWP here. And that's going to be a good setup for Red Reserve coming into this one. 4-1 is the score, and they're actually not going to go for the AWP this time around. So I'm expecting a little bit of a faster push in. And I think that might be the correct choice, because if I was CLG and Red Reserve won 4 rounds in a row, now had an AWP, I would probably expect them to go a bit slower, as they usually do on this T side. But right now, it's looking like they're setting up for at least control of A main to begin with. One guy in door as well, and then one to fake a B and then go towards mid, I think, when the execute happens. Timing is what we're waiting for right now. What kind of a timing Red Reserve want to go in on this? Still 4 Molotovs to go.
Kusta being on highway is such an important thing for CLG. There we go, in through the smoke. Relaxer goes down. He's given time to rotate into the site. As a result, now FNS peeks out from MBK. Takes a worrying amount of time to finish off Rusty, but he does get the job done. Bomb's been dropped out in the open. Has enough time to reload before Freddy does get that trade, but Ricky chiming in with one. Ethan up on top of rafters. Able to trade that frag onto Freddy, leaving this on Makalele in a 1v3. Takes the peek on it onto the players from Truck, doing the damage. Does manage to drop Cutler. So he's made this competitive. The man, the myth, the Makalele, tapping away. Gonna get himself a second. Spots out Ethan in mid. Drops into the site. Has the bomb, but he's gonna take the duel. Now going for the plant. Fakes it out. Smart play to make, but not in this instance, as Ethan's actually rotated around over towards Truck. Now this is just costing him valuable time. He's going to go ahead and take the peek on out. Fakes it once again. Ethan going to start to push on up. Makalele, clock being whittled down. Ethan playing this one perfectly. Now he's been forced into a scenario where he has to go for the bomb plant. He's going to fake it once more, but this has left him with no time, and Ethan is playing this so well. He has to go for this. His hand has been just twisted into getting this bomb. Now takes the peek out. Ethan connects the shot, and CLG will pick up the second round. AWP saved as Ethan, a 3,000 IQ play from him there. The confidence to allow Makalele just to keep faking that time and time again. Fantastic stuff from CLG.
But too close to comfort, I think, in that 1v3. They pretty much allow Makalele to have 3 individual 1v1s. Like you saw the one player jumping away from short as Makalele peeked towards CT. Usually you just want to have a crossfire, so if he pops up and tries to take the duel, the second man will probably shut him down before he gets the frag. And even if he gets the frag, you have the refrag straight after and you get the round win there. But Makalele is allowed to go for it. Loses out in the 1v1, but does get the bomb down and denies 2 weapons. So I think he's pretty happy with that scenario. Of course, he's not 100% happy because he could have had the round, but how it looked, it's probably the best outcome he could hope for. No AWP just yet for the T side. Utility being thrown over the roofs. And once again, setting it up. Right, Reserve. Timing coming in.
Yeah, Ethan's boosted up, spraying away. Only gets himself one. The trade going to come in from Freddy. FNS falls within the site, leaving this in the blink of an eye. One Cutler is the only man nearby. Will be naded to be kept at bay. Key and Kusta going to be held up in mid. That's due to the presence of Hampus up in these vents. They're going to go straight past each other. They're walking parallel to one another out in mid. Hampus gets the first and the second. Down goes Ricky. And now it's all on Cutler. 1v4.
That is so unlucky. The timing of that is like 1 out of 100. Hampus makes it work nonetheless, and even switches around and gets a second kill. I was sure he's going to die after the first one instantly, but nope. Hampus has a guardian angel somewhere, taking care of him. And so does Red Reserve. They're going to go up 5-2 here on the T side of DE Cash. I do think that Ricky needs to be a bit more vocal on the scoreboard and on the server as well, because he's one of the players that when I look at CLG and I think about, okay, who can make a difference for this team? Who can come in and change rounds with his own presence and with his own kills? That's going to be Ricky, and that's going to be Kusta, in my opinion. Maybe also Ethan, to some extent. But Ricky's just not showing up. He hasn't showed up really for the first map. Not showing up here as well. I think he's at, what, like 2 or 3 frags? And that's just not up to the standard that he usually delivers, because in my book, he's a very strong player, but just not showing up right now, and that has to be a problem.
The stack for CLG within this B-bomb site. Ethan, the only man who's apart from the rest of the gang. He's watching mid with the scout. Already, due to the late presence here from him, they've already got players out in middle. So as he takes this duel, he has to be careful, because Makalele is already very aggressive. By White Box, just going to be hiding, waiting this one out. Rusty's flashed on back. Peek comes in. They get the information that one man's here, and that's kind of perfect for Red Reserve. Kind of sells the fact that there's the potential they could go B, and that's going to stop CLG taking a chance, rotate on off. You got Makalele stuck all the way up highway, in a great spot to deal with Ethan here on truck. If he goes down, everyone else being on B, the save should just be called straight away. No chance of them going for this. If he can buy a little bit of time, different story.
Yeah, that's the gamble of having a round like this. You have to gamble for one of the bomb sides, and Red Reserve sniff that out, go for the opposite one. Ethan hits the shot, and there's low HP on the terror side. Actually, 3 players low. So this might be doable. At least if they can get the opening on one of the guys and get in towards the bomb site and play close quarters with the pistols. But they need to push in and make that happen. Let's see if that's going to be the decision. Makalele has his back turned to the push from the CTs, trying to do battle. Rusty just spotting here, not seeing anyone just yet. The CT's just waiting for now. Flash comes in, push comes in as well. Kusta with one, Kusta with a second, moving one into the bomb site. Cutler with one as well. The pistols are working magic, but Rusty's here. He's picking up one. That's Kusta going down. Bomb still ticking away. Freddy taken out as well, and that's a pistol push coming in towards the side. And I'm flabbergasted. What a take from CLG. The timing, the pistol, the damage from the scout, everything working out in their favor. With a few seconds to go on the bomb, they take it home. I got to do a little play there.
I was about to say, you're going to steal my job.
Don't worry, you'll be able to take mine.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't. You're the predict
so.
master. So
that's true. Yeah, I mean, that was just fantastic stuff. The scout did so much damage. That was Ethan. He did more than he ever needed to do with that in that situation. Just fantastic stuff. And then the rest of the team, literally all it took was one shot from every pistol. All tagged down that low, and that's how you want to play that scout. Use it just to paint damage across an entire team and then mop them up. Now, sending our attention over towards mid. Ricky's playing it close to the boost. I'd love to see them attempt the, the boost themselves. Try and catch Red Reserve off guard. This round would not pan out too great, though, as Makalele is up there with the AWP in hand.
Ricky's aware of this. Once again, Molotovs go over the roofs. Same will the smoke from Makalele. Counter Molotov to prevent that mid push, and Ricky's position could become crucial right now. He steps in, sees one, takes him out, takes out the second. Ricky stepping up, finally coming into the play. Well, Rusty on the bomb site. And here we go, 3v2.
Yeah, Rusty and Relaxer could be able to get that bomb down. Now ticking away. CLG might have the man advantage, but they find themselves on the clock. Smokes down for Highway, denies any sort of vision and potential to pick these guys off on the cross back to main. The Molotov denies movement out. Relaxer gets the trade, and that trade was so incredibly important. Now it's a 1v2. It's still going to be an uphill battle, but he's got a bit of an edge. Bomb still ticking away. One of the players in A main, they have the pincer play, can come in. Ricky peeking out. The peek comes in from Relaxer, but he caught off guard. Ricky trades that out instantly. Doesn't leave anything down to chance. The 3K for him in that round. CLG get on that defuse and now pick up a 4th. They are looking like they have a breath of fresh air you know, new wind in their sails.
Yeah, it was all on the back of that one pistol scout buy, which they won out. Ricky now stepping back up into the game, getting the double there. The second shot is really impressive. And this last one is, of course, pretty much just them playing 2 against 1 in a double flank there. If the first man doesn't get the frag, the second man will come in and kill him straight in the back, so there's 100% guarantee of getting that. And that's how you should play a 2v1, if you know the position of the terrorist. Works out for them. Right reserve still have money. AK-47s and utility. But it's still 4-5. CLG are battling back after a slow start here on Cash, and a slow start in general because they did not look impressive on map 1. But in the last 2 rounds, they've looked like the CLG we expected to see in this series.
Yeah, we're seeing some faint signs of life. Red Reserve keen to try and snuff that out, ready to push towards B. Just gonna go charging on in. Ricky's caught off guard up in heaven, but it's Cutler with the spray down. Gets himself 2, still alive in the corner. Takes the peek out, but Freddy does trade it. Ultimately, the rest of the team claps on in. They only lose Cutler in that whole ordeal, and that is going to be CLG in with a 5th. They find themselves an equalizer, and now the pause is called in. Yeah. What's going wrong for Red Reserve? What's going right for CLG, Risk?
I think it's first of all, it's a matter of pretty much pace and momentum. All on the back of that pistol scout round. You get a lot of momentum off that. Red Reserve stop doubting themselves. If they can lose to a round like that, what can happen? Ricky starts to feel the game as well. Like, you see him step up in the last couple of rounds, getting 2, getting 3 kills. I think that's one of the things that they missed, because he's kind of like this catalyst player on the team. So if he plays well, if Gusta plays well, the team plays well. And that's one of the problems having teams with this kind of double AWP mentality, because if they aren't showing up, it's very hard to play as a team around that. If they are showing up nonetheless, they can be perfect, and they can force a team like Red Reserve into a position where they need to take a pause to figure out how to counter it. Not because they're playing with the AWPs, but just because they're playing well. These are the 2 players that CLG are looking to play well in order to grab a win. So 5-5, and CLG just needs to keep on trucking. Red Reserve trying to find a way to counter that pace, to counter that momentum. And we talk a lot about momentum, we talk a lot about confidence, because it is a big deal in CS. You'll meet several players who are on the road a lot, and they say sometimes their momentum is just like, if you've been on the road for 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure the only team that I know who can keep on like doing well while being on the road, that's SK. Other teams will say like, yeah, it's hard to keep up your momentum if you're constantly tired, you can't really strat, you can't really practice and stuff like that. And even at one single event, it can be hard to keep that momentum up, because mentally it is just very draining to play high pressure CS. And now I talk for a bit, Harry. Now you say something.
Well, this pause looking like it's going to be coming to an end. But one thing is, I mean, this is, I think, one of the first pauses we've seen just go the full distance. Red Reserve taking their due time to try and come to a conclusion as to what exactly is going wrong. And yeah, I mean, a couple of things have been happening. When you look at it, CLG have stepped up. Red Reserve as well do seem to be a little bit lacking with the trades in these last couple of rounds. We saw in mid when Ricky was playing it aggressive. Usually we could expect the trades to come in there. It's very unusual you have someone in such a forward position with no one else there in mid to help out, actually get away with finding 2. But no time for all that good stuff as Red Reserve switching things up a little bit. They're going to turn their attention out towards A. They're going to play the usual strategy with Hampus. Left at B, there's a gap in this smoke, and that's allowing Rusty to peek out over the top. Dispatching of Kusta, opening things up for Red Reserve, and that's it. They're looking, oh, Rusty, I was about to say they're looking good, but does need his teammate down there. Still man advantage in favor of the Swedes. They're going to continue this reign of terror out towards A. Easton within quad. Has to try and step up. The pop flash is perfect. Catches Rusty out in the smoke, keeps spraying away, but Freddy trades it back. Man advantage maintained. Cutler stuck between a rock and a hard place as players falling all around him. Fighting for his life. The man who can make all the difference is FNS on this flank. He's hot on their heels. About to arrive in through Squeaky. Door isn't open. Gonna make noise as he opens that up. If he can deal with the player on forklift though. Oh, the door's gonna get open for him, but Makalele just charges in. Finds the frag, leaving this now on Cutler and Ricky, and at this point they're just gonna look to save.
And to be honest, I think that's the last 5% that the Red Reserve needed to get back to the game. They needed that opening frag. The way that they got that was with the boost over the smoke. When you get that opening onto the side and you can start taking that map control, forcing the CT players back, forcing them to react to your playstyle and your take on that bomb site, then it gets really hard to play CT. And That's why like opening frags and entries are so important in this game, because if you get that onto a bomb site, you get so much more than just a frag. And that's what they needed, and that's what they got Red Reserve to bounce back straight after that pause. Very nice from them. Now CLG in a position where they now have to figure out what's the game plan. Kusta on the AWP, Glass Cannon, and Famas on Ethan.
And this is a very important round for either team. Both of them on the brink of an economic reset. So this round is worth its weight in gold. Red Reserve with everyone stacked up over here at B. Now, the difference being this time is that Ethan and Kusta look to try and take aggression out towards A main. They can very quickly get the information. There's no one out towards A, but information's all well and good. The charge going to be coming through out towards the B bomb site. Ricky gets one. It's Cutler coming in with the backstab. He only manages to take one, though, with that spray. And that could be the difference. 2v3. Bomb's been allowed to cross the site, smoking off CT to allow safe passage. Hampus gets the bomb down. Gonna be planting it for A main. Makalele just waiting over here in checkers. Hampus within the site. Peek about to come in from heaven. Two players here with FNS ready to push in through CT spawn. Hampus gonna get Molotov down, fully flashed. He will fall. Makalele under heaven, gonna be tagged away, and then FNS to finish him. Defuse comes in at CLG onto a 6th. Once again, going to equalize this out as it proves to be an extremely close game.
So much utility left for that retake for CLG. FNS had a smoke and 2 flashbangs that he didn't use in that round, just on the back. And they had a second player came in with a Molotov that pushed one of the T's out of position and allowed them to get that frag, eventually making it 3v1. And yeah, nice of them perhaps saving a bit too much of utility if FNS goes like away with the round with 3 nades still on his back. But they keep the Molotov, and that's a very important part. Molotov and a smoke and maybe 1 flashbang I'd always like for a team to have when they're coming into a retake situation. Flashbang to get in towards the site, Molotov to force a terrorist player out of his positions, you can take him out, and then the smoke for the defuse. Oh, that's a nice shot.
One player there who's meant to trade that out. That's Ethan, but not up to the task of facing up against the prime Makalele. Keeps taking the peek, gonna go on in for it. Does get one, but then Makalele is there to instantaneously pick that trade up. Cutler over on highway. The lone player responsible for watching A now finds some damage in through the smoke. Just gonna be chipping away. They've been allowed to get into the site. CLG on this retake. FNS once again charging into the backline, but this time they're losing players within the site. FNS drops out. One Swede, but he's still got more to find. They know where he is now. The element of surprise has been stripped away. He makes his way around the Molotov, gonna drop out Rusty. Now it's the 2-on-2, making this interesting. Makalele's attention split between A main and highway. Has to look so many different ways with no support from Relaxer to help him out. It's going to be tricky. Gets the first, flicks back onto FNS, doing the damage, but no FNS to finish him off. Relaxer in the 1v1. Fake defuse comes in. Relaxer takes the peek and does find the head. Red Reserve in with a 7th as they keep this one close and competitive as ever.
Back and forth rounds right now between these two teams. Incredibly tense between the Swedes and the mixed bag, the Americans and the Australian. Makalele, what a game he's had so far. Him Cash taking players out with his AWP, and he's sitting at 8-8, sitting pretty, but a lot of his frags has come into rounds where he'd had to create the situations himself, not really getting any help from his teammates, just straight off his AWP skill, he's getting stuff done. This time around, UMP 45s, they know they're up against an eco from CLG. Ricky with the Zeus, the rest of the team with pistols. FNS is the one with the strongest one, as Ethan is inches away from dying here. The second he steps out, surely Freddy is going to take his head off. Bury him 6 feet under.
Reserve have made the right decision to play this one more passively. Ethan takes the peek. I'm going to try and follow that up with a spot of aggression towards A main. Instead, now they turn their attention to middle. FNS is watching it, but his eyes won't work from beyond the grave. As he does go down. And the rest of Red Reserve charging in towards B. Cutler's able to get one, but that will be it. The trade comes in swiftly from Rusty. Kusta's trapped in CT spawn. Smoke goes down to isolate him out the site. This one should be all said and done. Ethan's allowed to peek on out and get himself just one chance frag on the back of that aggressive peek. Relaxer dropping out Ricky in mid. Now it's all on Kusta. 35 HP. Just the USP.
Yeah, there's no chance that he can clutch this.
Oh yeah, no,
At all.
that's out the winner. Doesn't have a kit. Doesn't even have a gun. Nearly dead anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone ever thought there was a chance. But then again, no.
If you were to look up impossible round to clutch in the book, that would just be an image of this round here.
In the book.
In the book. Don't you have the book?
I don't.
The book of
I've been
CS:GO
doing
knowledge.
this wrong. Written by James Duffield.
Oh, okay. I thought every caster got that. The CS:GO book. You
No.
didn't? Oh, I'm sorry, mate.
I've never spoke to anyone who had it. Maybe you've been reading gibberish.
Need to hit up Valve. They'll hook you up.
Anyway.
Right now.
Valve wouldn't hook me up with anything. Here we go, out and towards middle. Rusty. Trying to spot this, but it's aggression at B. The order of the day. They line up for Hampus. He gets himself 2, and then Ricky helps him out with the 3rd. Down goes Ethan. As this B bomb site collapses around them, CLG scramble to try and make their way back into this round, but already all is said and done. Kusta with the AWP remains on a bastion of hope that stands between Red Reserve and the A bomb site. The AWP in hand, over towards Forklift, playing around in the smoke, trying to fight for his life, stay alive and buy time for the rotate, but not the case. FNS, it's all eyes on him. 1v5.
If ever there was a round to tilt you in a potential decider map in a best of 3 that decides if you go home or not, it's if you want to do a quick push towards B. The first kill is basically you killing a teammate and then allowing Hampus to get a free 3k. That has to be incredibly tilting. This is where the mental strength of CLG comes into play. If they can keep calm and collected after making that kind of mistake, they still have a chance of coming back, but a lot of teams will take stuff like that to heart. Hopefully that's not going to be the case for CLG. They look composed. They don't look angry. Hopefully that's a good sign. 9-6 for the first half here. Red Reserve, just a couple of rounds away. 7 to be precise. From making it into the playoffs. And securing 2 Swedish teams in the playoffs.
I'm a big fan of the purple jersey for CLG.
I'm a big fan of that hat.
I am as well. But, you know, his attire aside, you know, I feel like we can speak to him after if you want to know where he got it from. Actually, you can wear that tomorrow for the final. Like the big, well, that's if they make it through to the final. It wouldn't. Anyway, you know, who really cares about that? Here we go, Red Reserve over on the CT side. Charging in towards B as they stack everyone here on the CT side, but it doesn't matter because CLG come off trumps in that engagement. They get themselves 3. Hampus doing all he can to trade this back, allows one player to cross the smoke blossoms. Relaxer up in heaven. Try and deny control of B, but the Bombers already made it across. Will come in. It's 2v3 in this retake. They have the defuse kit, have a smoke as well. Pushing in through CT, Ethan on the site. They have the crossfire set up, but no, he goes down. No one in a position to trade. Relaxer can just go ahead and toss this bomb. Yeah, smoke down onto the bomb and try and stick the defuse. Hampus has to try and keep him covered. It's planted for main, but Hampus has to watch out. There's a player within the site. They know that he's there. They can afford to try and take this duel. Relax needs to make his mind up as to whether or not he's sticking the bomb. And Hampus just playing it around the site. Has to try and protect his comrade. Gets one. The defuse comes in. Cutler does find both the frags. Gets a 4K. But they still get the defuse. 10 rounds now for Red Reserve. That was fantastic.
It's such a high-risk, high-reward play going for that straight-up B push in the pistol round because if it works out, they'll gain a lot of confidence of knowing the fact that they can just bomb rush the site and take it with brute force. If it doesn't work out like this, then they're probably going to be thinking to themselves, okay, this is hard. And also with losing it like that, losing it to defuse, still getting the kills, that is just heartbreaking. Now Red Reserve are stacked up with weaponry, 2 M4s, 2 UMP45s, and a scout as well. Decent utility, not perfect. And CLG just going to execute A.
Yeah, charging on in. Mackley able to get 1. Does overstay as welcome though as he goes down towards the back of the site. They're going to be allowed to get the bomb plant, which considering they didn't invest too much into this round is a very big deal. Relaxer pulls it back into a 3-on-3. And him eliminating that one player who's heading towards A main now means that the position of Freddy goes completely undetected. He hears Ricky rotating back around and oh Ricky, you're so fine, but Freddy Frog is going to blow your mind. Cutler and Kuster that remain within the site. 2v3. Down goes Cutler and Kuster to follow. Relaxer with the hat-trick in that retake. Gonna go ahead and get this bomb defused. An 11th for Red Reserve. CLG get the bomb plant, though, and that does allow them to facilitate a buy-up into this next round.
Yes.
Very decent one at that.
Definitely. CLG going for the buy here. Red Reserve will still be on decent weaponry as well. It's going to be 4 M4s and 1 UMP45. And utility behind that. It's pretty much only going to be Rusty without full utility. Rest of the team looking straight up good. Kuster with the AWP. Everyone with head armor on the T side, as you said. Like, they can afford to get the real buy-in. Very nice setup from them. And they need a win right here. Like, they need to win this round right now, CLG, to be able to stay in this game. And Freddy, look at that, the counter boost. He's not picking it up, though.
Yeah, they want to try and follow this with... I was going to say some more aggression out towards me, but it would have been countered perfectly by the player boosted up in vents. Still, CLG have maintained this man advantage. No trade frag in sight from Red Reserve.
Only one player on A right now for the Red Reserve side, and as to say that two of them rotate. Because I was about to say that's going to be a problem as CLG are setting up, but Red Reserve knows this. They're not going to leave their brother hanging on that bomb site. Going to play as a team. Even take some control here. They're going to pop flash in and potentially get a couple of frags here. Michael Lely with a double spray. Very nice. Gets a bomb as well.
Yeah, Squeaky's been open. The refrag looking to come through from Kuster, but the nade completely denies it as he gets slam dunked into oblivion. And now FNS, the player over at Squeaky, his position given away. Ricky trying to pull things back in middle. Guillotine's Relaxer. Leaving this now 2v2. Makalele's already on the hat-trick. He's going to look to reroute round and try and deal with Ricky over a mid. Now this leaves Rusty alone within the site. No one there to trade. Curious decision to make on Makalele's point of view, because now Ricky's rotating back around to go pick up the bomb. They know it's in A main, so one of these two players has to do it, and they do end up realizing this. Makalele's rotated round into the site. Only 14 seconds left. Time is going to be the bane of their existence here for CLG. The bomb gets dropped, and now FNS, he has to get the frags if he wants to pick this up. Gets the first. The peek from Rusty pays off, though, as he does prevail. And that's Red Reserve with a 12th round to their name. No money for CLG into this one. Leaves them in a spot where they're allowed to force buy down a little bit.
They can get pistols.
Full buy, yeah, into the next.
But the problem presents itself. That's so nice. Like, we've been broadcasting for, I think, around 12 hours. Actually close to that now. And there's just that fan. He's still going on. He's been here all day, hanging out. He's still hyped for this final game. Hyped for Red Reserve. And who wouldn't be? They're about to, well, not about to. They have the chance of taking CLG out 2-0 and go to the playoffs, go to the semis here at DreamHack Valencia. That's a big thing for that team.
And CLG running out of ideas, going to go back towards A. They do find one onto Hampus, and he was the kind of catalyst player holding this off from Highway. A high-powered hand cannon of the Deeg, putting in some work, keeping these Red Reserve boys at bay. But now they're going to look to try and retake. Cutler holding the flank. If he dispatches a Relaxer, this is going to change up this round in its entirety, which he will. Now he's got himself an M4 to play with. Bombs planted for A main. Fantastic stuff here from CLG as they look composed. It will be a 2-on-3 in the retake for Red Reserve. They spot the players out in A main, and Rusty tapping away. Gets himself one. Has more work left to do. The smoke going to come in, but it does miss its mark ever so slightly. Charging through the smoke is going to be Kuster, but Rusty shuts him down. And now the defuse coming in. Ricky denies it, though.
It's one.
No time left, and that is going to be CLG to pick this round up. Back and forth doesn't even describe the nature of what just happened. CLG in with a 7th, a round that never should have been. Everyone in the server dying. Just a bad day all over. CLG, fantastic stuff from them.
And the economy really showing to be the problem for Red Reserve here, because they didn't have money for kits. I only think they had maybe 1 or potentially even 0 kits in that time around. And when it came down to the defuse, the guy who was defusing did not have a kit. And that pretty much lost them that round. Ran out of time. And now, with a bad economy, they're forced into this scrappy buy. And CLG looking to take advantage of that. It's going to be a pistol round, potentially even full eco after that for Red Reserve. So CLG, they have a chance of gaining some momentum back, but Freddy's in their way.
Now he stands firm over at B. Cutler re-extends that man advantage out into middle. Makalele's here with the CZ, holding up close to white box. Going to take the peek out. Spots FNS and will just go ahead and impale him. Now he's got himself an AK.
Playing retake.
A bomb site has fallen. But Makalele, the first man on the scene, wants to try and pull this back from the realms of impossibility. Sneaking through the smoke. It's caught off guard from Cutler. Will go down. Freddy and Relaxer. 2v3. They've spotted the player out on quad, but I think they're just going to make the call to save in this one.
Yeah, they should save this one. Also because the flank of Relaxer is going to be so slow, even if he went for it full speed. He was going to be hurt anyways. So I like the choice here. Red Reserve, I'm going to take away 2 weapons from that C side, bring them onto their own economy. And they can play 2 players, or 2 players on A with weaponry, and then the rest of the team rushing towards B or playing something around those 2 AKs, or the AK and the M4, into the next coming round. If you want to do that, that's a very big possibility. CLG, on the other hand, they get the bomb plant, they get the explosion, they get 3 weapons. So pretty good for both teams here. So let's have a look. The replay, Cutler coming in, finally stepping up. And he has been lackluster, in my opinion, throughout these first 2 maps, but now he's really coming into character. Getting that 3K in that round. Right Reserve, as I said. Getting some pistols, but otherwise from that, just playing the 2 weapons together. Actually, Relaxer is in A main. He's pushed all the way up, playing that AK towards A and the M4 towards B. Then pistols surrounded. And now, trying to go into N main, didn't find anything. Slowly rotating everyone towards that B bomb site. But the bomb is still dropped near T spawn. So the terrorists have not decided yet where they want to go. But let's, like, imagine they run into the B bomb site, they hear a pistol. That could be their downfall.
This should get discovered. You've got Cutler over towards Squeaky. His role here is to kind of probe out. He'll open it up, see if anyone's over onto highway, which he should spot no one and then start to probe more into the site. But yeah, we can already see change in direction. Cutler's the point man in this engagement.
Yeah.
They've had FNS watching the potential push in through MA, and they haven't spotted anything. Cutler now going to fulfill his duty, clearing out highway while the rest of CLG start to rotate on in.
But I actually like this choice from Red Reserve because they're banking on one bomb site, and if it doesn't work out, they go the other way. Then they can either retake 5 men, or they can save the weaponry into the next coming round. Maybe push Makalele and Rusty to get exit frags. Maybe even Hampus as well with his Deagle. And they still bring 2 weapons into the next round. I don't know, that seems to be the plan so far. Makalele trying his best. This is surely about to become 9 rounds for CLG. Right Reserve staying 4 players on that B bomb site. Bringing the weapons into the next round. And are we about to see, once again, a pacifist round of Counter-Strike, where no teams will take a loss?
I mean, not just that, but the second time between these 2 teams exclusively.
They're not very keen on battling, are they?
There's a thick romance in the air between Red Reserve and CLG.
They just don't want to hurt each other, Harry. These are very kind people. Oh, the kindness goes away.
Rookie isn't. Yeah. Look at him. He hurt Makalele in a bad way. But everyone else was friendly. Oh, okay, no, they don't. Ethan isn't either.
Try to build a storyline, Harry, and they just destroy it. Obviously kidding. But here we go. 9-12 is the scoreline. Full buy-up for CLG. Red Reserve, on the other hand, are going to be well out as well. AK and 4 M4s. Almost full setup as well from them. Missing a tad of utility, but hopefully it won't make the difference. And this is the kind of round where if CLG get it, they can almost make it up to the 12 rounds and tie up this game in. Then they'll be in control of the pace. They'll be in control of the economy if that happens. Red Reserve right now in a bit of a tough spot. They actually really need this round win. Else CLG will be on top of them soon.
Yeah, they're trying to sort this out with some aggression into A main. And while that has got them information that no one's there, instead the bomb's routed up through Squeaky. Mid control's gone completely the way of CLG. Rusty's left wide open to the players on highway. Relax now pinned between Squeaky and Highway. Caught unaware, is going to fall as the Fire and Flames box him in. Hampus and Freddy, all that remain. 5 players left for CLG. It will be a round that they opt to try and save in. A 10th now for CLG. No money for Red Reserve heading into the next round.
Yeah, they have 2 players on $50 after buying this time around. 1 on $250 and then 2 players.
Yeah, which means
above 1,000. Yeah,
they're going to try and go for the Force in the next, I imagine.
They can. It's a question of what they really want to do here. On the other side of things, CLG saving all 5 weapons in this one, getting the bomb plant as well, building economy, building pace, building confidence as well, coming back into this after a, let's face it, not so good first half. And they're even going to take the last 2 out. That means that this is probably not going to be a Force. This is going to be a pistol round coming in for Red Reserve here, as they should probably save their money for the next buy. Red Reserve. 12 rounds to the 10 of CLG, and it's going to be pistols. Relaxter can go for a bit of extra buy. Goes for the Deagle. But CLG about to make it 11 to 12, and this game is getting tense again. Back and forth. We've said that time and time again about this matchup, and it's proving to be just that.
Some aggression from Red Reserve into A main. Next in the information that no one is there as of present. You can already see that's forced to rotate from Relaxer, rejoining the rest of his teammates over here at B. So they're going to be stacking this B bomb site. Utility now raining in from CLG as the push comes soaring on through. Hampus playing the close angle. He's fully flashed. There's a 2-for-1 offer down in pit, and CLG are looking to claim it. Ethan and Cutler between them open up the B bomb site, leaving this all on Freddy Frog. 1v4, P250 in hand. I would normally say some hope and some dreams with him, but I don't think he's got that. He is well aware that this round has slipped through their fingers.
And once again, CLG showing how you can pretty much make sure that you don't lose duels if you use your utility correctly and you're up against a CT team that is saving and don't have any counter utility of their own. Molotov's coming in, raining in, Flash coming in as well, allowing them to get that opening frag. They actually had 2 players stacked to the left with C-set 75s, and they were only able to get 1 frag. That was because of that 1 flashbang coming in with the perfect timing. It's always so nice to see how pro teams manage to use that utility to just give them even more advantages than they already have with their usually stellar aim. (11 to 12) is the scoreline, and a lot of thinking going on in the CLG camp. They have the money, they have the weaponry, definitely have the money. They have like around 10k on each player on average, so they can pretty much keep buying here. Red Reserve is in a position where they have opted to go for the double op setup. They want to put it all in one basket, all the X in one basket, and see if they can work out. If not, I think CLG, they're going to run away with this map if Red Reserve do not convert this round. They have so much momentum, and they have such a sick bank. They won, what, 5 rounds in a row. If Red Reserve cannot convert on a double up setup with Relaxer and Michael and decent setup utility-wise, then I don't think there's going to be a chance for them. Let's have a look.
They've gone for a bit of a risky play with 2 players over in checkers. The Molotov's burning them out, and then they're quickly running out of space to stand. This Relaxer has to smoke himself off. Cutler going to drop out Freddy. So already an advantage secured here for CLG. Relaxer looking to try and step up. Finds the first with the AWP as he makes his way back into the site. There are players already here. Goes for the no-scope, and he gets it. Down goes Rookie. Puts it into a 3-on-3, and that no-scope could have made all the difference here. Denies the man advantage. Cutler's so low on HP. Makalele going to be watching the cross. Hampus tagged away as Kusta does the damage. Is allowed to cross into the site.
Cutler's coming in with the monster flank as well. That's why CLG are being reluctant, as well as because they're pressured. Going to get that bomb down now. Cutler's come in from behind. He's going to go into vents as Ethan gets that frag. Now they're going to have 2 guys towards Checkers. It's going to be up to the shots. Hampus gets 1. Hampus going for the win here, but there's no way he's going to be able to do that with the crossfire. Double kill for Ethan and Cutler. 12 to 12, Harry. I think this is where CLG runs away with it, to be honest.
I mean, Cutler's got 16 grand That's what he had at the end of it. He just had to reinvest into this one, but you know, he's got no worries. All equal, 12-12, red reserve, and the infamous Swedish choke is going to be the case that these last couple of rounds just slipping away from them, and that isn't to say it's all their fault. CLG have really stepped up.
Yeah,
in these last couple of rounds.
And the players that I've been looking for to bring a better game, a game that they usually bring, Ricky and Cutler specifically, are doing just that.
This time red reserve, they're going to be playing it a little bit more passively out towards A, waiting at these choke points. Makalele staring into the door. Here's Crosshair and Cutler. It's just a question of who shot first, Makalele or Cutler. Oh, it's tense. We need some duel music from like the Western films. Oh, this is it. This is the duel of a lifetime. Just keep the camera on these two. This is intense. This is what CS is all about. Cutler's teasing us just a little bit. He's teasing away. He could put us out of our misery right now, but no. This could... What's behind the door? It's the Makalele. Your grand prize finds himself the opener. Down goes Makalele to kickstart this round, and now the push going to come on through. Rusty dying around in the site. Overstays his welcome, and he's going to get dropped. Relaxer tapping away with the P250, though. Pulls this back into the realms of possibility. He's a P250. God, what's going on with this man? Trading up to the AK. Still alive within the site. Finds himself a fourth. Relaxer is absolutely insane. One man left. It's Ricky. And Ricky clutches it out. That was absolutely incredible stuff, though, from Relaxer.
My heart rate just increased to 300% there. That was absolutely insane. There's no way he should be able to get anything out of that. The first headshot is insane. The second one comes in the back of the molly damage. The third one is questionable, and that one is just not good communication at all. Does not get the ace. Would have been probably one of the sickest clutches of this tournament if he got that. But it will allow them to do the double buy of the orbs. But already now, Hamper's been taken out. So close, but yet so far, CLG about to take it to 14 unless Red Reserve stops them. Rusty with the position here just below the push.
Waiting over mid, they're getting a full waterfall on out, and Rusty stands firm. Freddy's there to help. Bomb dropped in mid. Red Reserve looking absolutely sensational. FNS and Ricky rotating on round. Bomb is firmly in control of the Swedes. I see no way of them throwing this round away, but there's still ample time left, so let's investigate.
Yeah, also the money is so good for CLG, so technically they should go for it and just see how many weapons they could take out. Finesse goes for that and is taken out immediately. Ricky at this point, it's always very hard coming into a 1v4 clutch if you have an AWP because you're just so restricted movement-wise.
Oh, no, nearly.
And now he's probably in a position where it doesn't matter where he goes. There's always going to be a CT.
No. Oh, watch out. Freddy in the corner. What? Nah, Makalele is the one to get him. That was a good round there from Red Reserve.
Exactly what they
tell by my noises.
And here comes the timeout. This is very interesting because...
Well, that was what I was going to say, is that it's similar to what we saw with that CLG, where the momentum kind of got flipped on its head. And we've seen Red Reserve, there's no denying it, slow down a hell of a lot since then. CLG are kind of in the exact same mindset. Both these teams are very similar in that regard. If things are going great, then they play phenomenally. The second that they start to slow down and they hit these problems, it does disrupt their mentality and they struggle a hell of a lot more. And Relaxer getting the 4K, even though he didn't win the round, that is a huge, like, you know, that was a man with just a P250 who almost single-handedly won a round.
Yes.
For Red Reserve. Not only was that a good boost to the morale of the Swedes, but it's such a drain on CLG at such a crucial point in the game. This pause, incredibly necessary. Hopefully they can iron out their problems and look to try and make this that much more competitive.
Did not use the full timeout time, so whatever they discussed has been fixed now. And let's see if they can bring it back in. Red Reserve coach still has a few words. And it comes in and only a few seconds to go as we jump straight back into the game. 13-13, Red Reserve can bring it home 2-0. CLG can bring us onto map 3. Double up setup on the CT side. Terrorists have their AWP on Ricky Kuster this time around, playing with the AK.
3 players for Red Reserve on the B-bomb site. Does leave the 2 that are tasked with defending A a difficult task ahead of them. Now they've boosted up Rusty into the vents. That leaves him to watch mid. You've got Hampus with the crossfire on highway. Actually fantastic way of holding mid. and he can quickly rotate in towards the A-bomb. So they throw a whole bunch of flashes and smokes on towards A. The full wall of smokes comes in. Cutler's been boosted up into middle, but it's all a ruse. The bomb's rotating back round to B. Cutler waiting to see if he could find anyone over on highway, but the ruse hasn't worked. They've kept everyone in B. Red Reserve not over-rotating. Rusty only gets one before the trade comes in from Cutler, and now his teammates within the bomb site. Tasked with trying to keep the dream alive for Red Reserve. Freddy Frog, the man with the plan fully flashed. Back of the site, fighting for his life, and Cutler will gladly strip him of it. Bomb going to be thrown across. As Relaxer watches from CT, it's Makalele to go ahead and close out the man advantage. Hampus in from Vents, makes things that much harder, and the bomb has been dropped on the site.
Still not planted, and Finesse has to make his way there. Ricky to support him with the AWP. No utility left whatsoever. Oh, missed shot there from one of the Orps on the CT side. Finesse will get that bomb plant. Makalele waiting, holding the angle, patient as ever. Not finding anything. Ricky with the shot. Makalele trying to come in 2v2.
Yeah, the two Orps in the retake less than ideal as they make their way into the site. FNS takes the peek and then Ricky finishes it off. CLG in with their 14th round. That couldn't have been worse if you're Red Reserve. The economic reset comes in, a burden that they now have to bear into round 28. 14-13, so close.
They can force
taking this in a 2-0. They're going to force buy up with what they've got. This does paint a grim picture if they lose this round.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is, if they lose this one, we're going to go to map 3. It's all on this. They're all in right now. All the money has been invested. All the Swedish funds put into one round. 3 UMP 45s. An M4, a C7 and a Dream.
Rusty's going to take the aggression. They have not seen this coming. There's no one watching for this play from A-Main. Here's the players boosted up. Here's them drop into mid. Red Reserve have gone very, very lax on the mid control, so they do have to be careful. Handing mid over to CLG. It's like giving a lion a gun. Something that's already very dangerous, you've made it that much more deadly. But anyway, CLG, they've got themselves mid control. Now looking to try and convert this into play out towards B. Gonna first take control of Vents. You can see Red Reserve already rotating players around. Freddy Frog has to go huge here. Has to buy time, gets the first and the second. That's what they needed. As Freddy locks down Checkers, finds the two in Vents. Now has to turn his attention out towards the play from Main. Pop flash out around the corner, takes the peek. He's gonna go in for more. Now he's on 3. There's no stopping this man. This beast, he's gonna run out of ammo, and that's the only thing that stops this man from killing. With the knife out, trapped in the corner. Cutler gonna go running on round, and just the knife in his hands. Relaxes there to trade things back, leaving this all on FNS. 1v3, it just wasn't meant to be as Makalele comes in. Drops him out of the round, and that's 14-14 secured. The force buy pays off. What a look at this. This was expert marksmanship from Freddy Frog. There's a reason why they say this man is one of the next up-and-coming great Swedish legends, potentially.
What a time to come up clutch there. Like, that is insanity coming out of Freddy Frog. Picking up 3 with the C-75 and even staying alive longer, being a nuisance. Allowing his team to get into good positions to handle the remaining players on that T side. Full buy-up coming in from Red Reserve. CLG still has the money. Let's see if it's going to be a problem. It's actually going to be a problem. They had such a big bank. But if they lose this one, they have 3 players who cannot buy. And we're at 14-14.
That's the thing. This round is so important. Whoever wins this should win the game. Neither team has any money. The waiting on this round is absolutely insane. CLG, they've got 4 players over here towards B. They've put all their eggs into one basket. Within the site, Red Reserve have Relaxer. They've got Freddy. He went huge in the previous round. They're going to need him to repeat his heroic antics once again. As CLG pushing on in, the waiting is monumental. Molotov to force down Relaxer into the open. He takes the peek. Ethan finds the frag. The rotate's coming in from Red Reserve. Freddy has to try and stay alive within the site. He's going to get caught off guard from Headshot. They're aware that he's here. He's fighting to stay alive. He gets himself one. He's still kicking. Kusta does shut him out. The man advantage going the way of CLG, and Red Reserve looking to try and keep the pressure on. Cutler is so isolated from this, though, watching mid, as everyone else from Red Reserve is over in CT. Now, rotating round, going to look to try and come in on the flank. This could be huge. It's either going to be the play that wins CLG the round or costs them it. As he comes in from behind, no one from Red Reserve sees this coming. He's now going to look to try and pounce, leaves it a little too late. They've been allowed to get into the site. Coming up from behind, it's Ricky with the AWP to get himself to CLG. Win this round out, 15-14. No money left for Red Reserve as the Swedes have to now carry the burden of a bad economy into the last round of this game, potentially.
It's such a hard call to make in that position if you're Red Reserve, because you're coming in 3 guys into a retake. Terrorists have already found post-plant positions. Bomb is ticking away. You don't have any utility. I think they had a Molotov and a flashbang to come in with. And it's so hard because the smoke's down. What can you really do? Like, B is such a difficult site to retake.
CLG now, they're on the home straight. They have to try and hold on to this from a force. Ricky's there to help out. Makalele gets one in return. Squeaky's going to get open, but he's allowed to duck and weave in behind Forklift. Makalele falls. All he can do is sit back now and watch as the 3 remaining members of his team try to keep Red Reserve in this. Try to carry it through to overtime. Hampus is the one up close. In by MBK. Kusta just shuts the door. Willing to walk away from this engagement. They keep themselves with the man advantage. Looking to try and keep it sweet. I think they're going to fake the rotate off. The steps coming in from, like he suggests, they want to keep this one going. Freddy takes the aggression on the back of the pop flash. The trade comes in. Both players for Red Reserve inside the A-bomb site. Squeaky, open from Kusta, telegraphs this play. Time ticking away from them here. Hampus in the site. We've seen some heroic antics with the CZ before. Him and Relaxer, the players with the step up now. The rest of his teammates' eyes burrowing into the back of their heads as they try to carry Red Reserve to OT. Kusta finds the first Relaxer, trying to step up, gets himself one, but Cutler is quick to finish him off. That is CLG to win out cash. 16-14, an incredibly close affair as this best of 3 series goes 1-1. We will be heading on through to the decider to see who joins Heroic in the semi-finals tomorrow. But Risk, what a fantastic map that was. Just an emotional roller coaster from beginning to end. A complete change of pace from Cobblestone as well. That was honestly fantastic.
That was a really, really good game. Cash just coming out again, proving to be one of the best maps, in my opinion, to watch Counter-Strike from. Also because when the retakes are happening, it just looks so good. And you also see, like, in a position where, like, B is so hard to retake, so when that eventually happens, it just looks amazing. All of the players on the server pretty much putting up a good performance here, getting that game so close, 16-14. And now we're going to go to map 3, and that's going to be quite exciting. That's going to be Mirage coming up next. And now I think all predictions are pretty much out of the window because we've seen stuff we didn't really expect seeing from both of these teams. So I don't even know, like, how to call this anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Mirage is the middle ground. It is the great equalizer in which these 2 teams will have their final duel on. But we're going to go ahead and take a very quick break. Join us for the last map of tonight. Some more CS action still yet to come your way in a couple of minutes.